we're here at Melbourne Raceway, York to watch a drag race. So, see.
If you came to the Elvington Speed Show, you'd have seen this car on display. 1998 Mustang GT with a 4.6 overhead cam motor. They're looking for good things here this year. Getting a little bit trying to keep the getting very close to the top end cells there. Don't think she touched them, but still ran through with an 8-1-1 with a 9.
Centre line, it takes the takes the two rings out the centre, so I just need to get the crew down to sort that out. One of the top qualifiers in the away from the line in the first run, and the second run, Andrew with a 6.79 at 110, Phil 6.89 at 116.
No burnout in the right-hand lane with his Pontiac Firebird, 500 cubic inches blown with an 871 supercharger. Big block has run 9.5 over the quarter mile. He won Outlaw Street last year and was the last ever car to do a flying return. Shaking County all those years ago. I can just about remember that. It's up his neck. Down wide noise Persia. It was a not through the top end he goes. 6.289 at 115 miles an hour to a 7.11 with a 4 at 108 there for the Firebird. Sarah was actually the fastest lady at Melbourne last year. Showed me to do that all over again. Dave McCallum of McCallum Automotive, and all the special tuning put by John Sleeth, who is one of our sponsors for the American Superstock. So husband Steve winds up into Dave Springs, and away we go, taking on the Escort in the left-hand lane, still getting a little bit mid-track, the 330 range. Red Mustang in the right-hand lane. A little bit of riches going down underneath those the 70s inspired Mustang. It followed the 70s style drag racing. That body style was all the rage in the Nitro 20 car classes. So up to the start line they go, and the Ford runs in the right in the left-hand lane. Again, no information on that machine at the moment, but I'm sure a quick spin round the pits will reveal all. Just waiting for the Ford just to pull into full stage. A little bit easier on the trigger there for the Mustang. Matching the colour of his car, gets the red on the tree. 8.10 with an 8 at 87 to 693 with an 8 at 109 in the left lane. Stage in the right-hand lane, and again another classic Ford pop in the left-hand lane. No information at this moment in time, but certainly a show and go vehicle. Packing a V8 underneath the hood. First time out here at Melbourne Raceway. Didn't see early this morning. Again, it's another one of mine. Past the 330 mark and runs through with a 7.15 with an 8. Gone well past the 330 blocks, and Oh, he's not supposed to be going that way. Oh, and there's some fluid underneath. That's why he has backed it onto the rostop, because it's going to be easier to clear up the rostop rather than what's on the racing lines. But looks like we're going to have a little bit of a clear up. Superstock Championship, no less than 5 times. Still not much information on the Mustang in the right-hand lane, but it's quickly into full stage. This is where they're running on there. So the Mustang is looking for a 770, and Lee was looking for a 653, and runs a 673 with a 1 at 108 miles an hour to a 781 in the right-hand lane. So dialing's all important here. They elect a dialing time to see how close, if not getting bang on to that dialing time as they can. So it looks like Nick Gumby in the left-hand lane. He's the overall champion with that 87 Ford Mustang. 347 cubic inches of small block Ford V8 with a supercharger, 5-speed manual transmission. Been running with the NSCC for over 28 years, but now he's decided he's going to turn his attention to the Superstock. He's looking for a dialing time of 8 with the Dodge Coronet RT. He's looking for a 777. So through the top end they go, both into the 846 with a 1 there for Nick, and an 8.10 with a 2 for Howard in the right-hand lane. 85 miles an hour plays 93 miles an hour. On at the moment, so I'm sure that will change as the weekend unfolds, but I looks like it's been Dunford with the Chevy Nova 8.8 litres an 810 in the left-hand lane, running through the top end. Racing fuel. Guys that are sponsoring American Superstock. You can see Sarah Unsworth with the Ford Mustang GT. She's looking for a 750. In actual fact, both of these guys. Alf Platt is looking for a 750 as well with the Chevy Camaro Z28 in the right-hand lane. So you're not going to see any difference in the countdown. A lot better run there for Sarah, looking for that 750, but she runs quicker than 750. A 743 with a 4 to a 780 and 1108 in the right lane. So the biggest stunt with Colin Fallows with the Triumph 650. Of course, Colin, as you said earlier in commentary, dabbles with a lot of the vintage nostalgia drag bikes. But the one that comes to my mind is Big Buckler Superclops. Cyclops, yeah.
There we go. The collection gets you right. Colin, he has to be on a Kawasaki that's down. Kawasaki has his the other Suffolk, the other race. So neck across the line there, 7.84 in the left and 7.84 in the right, just going 0.04 of a second, the difference between one times there, both at 97 miles an hour.
The margin is
We've got a new bike here. Terry Ramsey. Terry, one of the quick guys in this last year on the 6.6, 17. And we've got a 9.5 to an 82. One of the NSA classes, time in 11.7 in Chris on that roller nicely turned out to put his body by Katana in the left hand lane with a turbo. Hold the rear problems for Tony Mayo in the right hand lane to solo roll. 3 Jacobs. 8.3, 123. Chris goes second in that 65 class. And in the left-hand lane, right from the Cleveland with the Honda CBR 650R.
halfway from the start line to a 5.8. 131 miles an hour. Only 794 with a 3.98 was the finishing strike. Start with another player that's in the left lane, Dane Hope on board his booster. Booster head-to-head going on in the race. Just about to be released by the starter. Left lane quicker, reacting away to the green light with a .14. 7.39 to a 7.66. 95.85 at the finishing stripe as our next pair of bikes. Red each lane is of green lights. 26, 71 place 68 at the stripe. With his turbo in the left-hand lane, taking on Chris Grayley. Also, quite a boost amount of 1300. Certainly a popular choice of weapon in the drag bike years ago. Through the top end, Chris goes to a 662, 122 miles an hour. 722 with a 7 at 77 to a 907 at 77 miles an hour through the stripe at the top end. Two of our regular NSA runners down here on the start line. Mark Taylor. Mark doing a lot of the behind the scenes work with the National Sprint Association. All of their events throughout the season. And went through with a 729 and the mark is 641 and 113 miles an hour. So much better time. That's the quickest done so far. 21 with a 2 at 73 to a 971 with a 9. That's 89 miles an hour. So that's the top end, Pair of tyre tracks to the VWB will run 791 with a 7 and 89 to a 723. So Ian Armitage with the slingshot dragster in the left-hand lane. Like a Roy Wilding constructed chassis, 10-inch motor on board. Now whether it's going to be running in Wilding competition at various racetracks throughout the season or not, but nevertheless, as I was saying, this is how the Dragsters used to look in the 60s for Mr. Garlick's had his big clutch explosion and Lions in 69. Took part of his right foot off, but anyway. We're going to send him down on a solo pass. First one. Drive up safely through the top end of the track to a 585 with a 1 at 119.77 miles an hour. First outing of the day for Ian Wally with the AKA they call him the Mad Professor. Running with a stroked small block Ford V8 with a massive turbo in capital letters. So it's one of the fastest cars in the National Street Car Challenge. It has run down into the 9s over the quarter mile. Came third in last year's street weekend, which will be seen again up here in the month of June, and has won the National Street Car Challenge many years. And the start line crew trying to tempt him with an ice cream. What I'd like to know is where's ours? So he's up against Alison Whittle with the Chrysler Crossfire in the left-hand lane. The RPM. Tyres chirping away from the start line through the top end. 698 with a 4, giving us a moment exiting the top end trap there.
Absolutely identical DCs on that Chris takes out. Seconds last year with these two side by side. It's an absolutely phenomenal look between these two boys. Experience. Still got the power in the front wheel. At the top end there. Runs at 5.82 at 140.
So it's going to be featuring Ian Wally, that man over there in the left-hand lane with that Mark II Cortina, the Mad Professor. But he's off against the top challenge with Aaron Bird in the right-hand lane with his Ford Pop. So who's your money on, folks? It'll be interesting to see how these both of these guys, keen street racers as well as track racers. He's done a couple of the street weekends and came third last year, overall third in the street weekend series, and they're going to be coming back and he wants to grab that number one spot if he can, but there's a lot of competition out there. So all eyes to the start line. Is he going to be won and lost on the start line? Let's see how he's going to pan out. No darlings to worry about, you just need to Aaron Bird gets the quicker reaction time, but Ian Wally drives around him and wins with a 6.48 with a 2 to a 9.49 with a 4. 118, so cars getting to run. Downstairs, that's Chandler, the Willis Coupe. Through the top there, 6.41 with a 1 at 111 miles an hour.
So that's pre-stage lights on.
I would imagine it's going to be positioned absolutely arrow straight.
Does have a parachute on the on that, because if you're going through the end here at 165 miles an hour, 185 the best that Graham has ever done. He's in stage now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now have you ever seen anything like that before?
Absolutely incredible.
3.370 at 169 for Graham. So 3.370, and that's a new PB for Graham, and that's the best that has ever done. That is the fastest thing you've ever seen down here at Melbourne.
Ever the showman. still looking for the Ford 100E in the left-hand lane. Both easy there, speed to right leaves. Well, we have to do the green lights with a 36. 20 enough, I think it's an old custom car actually, in the early 90s. This is 205 and there used to be a 405 in Racing Pro ET as well. We haven't seen that for a good amount of years. But Bob, DJ, hence the name of White Noise on the side of the Peugeot. Has certainly been running Pro ET, and as we said earlier, he picked up his first win at Spring Speed National last month. Was up against Colin Morris, who for Colin he broke out, handing the win to Bob. But hopefully, you know, going to be another 30 years waiting to win the next one. Looks like the power came off the pump, but Bob runs through 6.26 for the 4, 112 miles an hour to 7. Man creator KevinNicks with the world's fastest shed. I'm sure you've seen this on many a TV programme. That's up against Nigel Green with the correct on the computer screen. It's not full down there, definitely a minute. Probably the mini in the back of the shed. And he runs through with a 989 with a 73 to a 10.132 and no terminal speed for the mini, unfortunately. As the phone block crept out of alignment, who knows? We'll probably see what happens on the next pass. Running through with a 7095 to a 728 with a 0. 101 plays 102 in favour of the Audi. This will be the final pairing in this round as we see Ian Waddy with that Mark 2 4-litre, 5.7 litres. It's going to be up against Gary Bird with the 5.8 litre Ford Fox, a friendly match. But it's going to be the one that's going to sneak over and take the win at the top end of the track for a place in the next round. Gary gets a drop on the tree with a 0.24 to a 0.44.
Terry Phillips. Wow, that was a wild ride there from Mark Butler. What this guy was just trying to hang on to that. Jacobs in the left and Jamie Brooks in the right. Road on turbo Suzuki. Down in the left, his next one being on the right. Jamie up in the there. 614 and 127. Well, Jamie knocking on the door of a membership of that 5 second from the way he's going. And 6.86 124 for Chris. Left hand lane. Simon now. Right lane. Maybe the left hand lane. Yeah, 9.15 and 103. Tomlinson and Chris Grayley. Chris is good. Joinery. Straight as well. Still there with a cracking 6.2, 918 and 7.2 for 16. But racing them. Superstock for left-hand lane. Still street legal and also really on the top speed limit as well, another 200 miles an hour on that bike. Back to just shy of the 250 mile an hour mark down last year. Work here on Dragsters, cabin round the new generator. Another 5 there for Peter, 9.924 at 130. 8 for fourth wheel in the right 104. Chris Hodgson, left leg. Thanks, Paul. And setting the scene with the timing system, making sure everything is how it should be, and our first pair of cars come forward in this further out is for American Superstock, brought to you courtesy of Goodale American Speed Shop. Also, we'd like to thank StraightLiners for sponsoring the trophy. So we start with the Valiant. He's looking for a diving time off of 6.63. Wants to try and run that machine as close to his diving time. And for Tyler Smith with the Mustang GT in the right-hand lane, he's looking for a 7.70. For a place on the ladder to tomorrow's Eliminations. On thick and fast. Nice line for Lee. Runs a .039. Runs a 6.53 with a 3 on a 6.63 guard. In fact, both of them broke out there. And for Tyler, he ran as the screen has been flicked over, so that's alright. And then done for left-hand lane, the death trap. Bit of a film thing going on in that left-hand lane. And he's looking for a 7.50 dial, and then right lane, 1.0 dial. Let's see how they get on. Again, the strike. Well, both on the right side of their guiding times. 8.23 on that 8.1 and 10.14 on that 7.40. So both having a little bit of a mishap down there. I'm sure they'll be able to go 4 horsepower into those things.
Sarah Unsworth with the Ford Mustang GT, lemon drizzle down there in the left lane. Craig Elliott with the Plymouth, 10.2 litres underneath the hood. He's looking for that 740 as well. There's going to be instant greens, no stagger on the tree on this one. Anticipates that green just a wee too quick with a 723 with a 1, and for Craig 734 with a 1 on that 740 dial. So Ben Rushbrook with the Ford Mustang 302 cubic inches on the Mark II. On the burnout. Garnish on these. Looking for 7 flat. Obviously counts towards the eliminations tomorrow in their respective classes. Time 0.28 to 8.40, and the Escort that gets there first, 7.186 at 101 miles an hour. So a 787 with a 6 at 88. And Tony Robinson with the 2 litre Ford pot. National Pro EC competition. This is going to be in action over the quarter mile at the Festival of Power. Melbourne Raceway. Got a little bit of cricket going down under those big back in, gets them to the line. 4.7 underneath the hood of that little Peugeot. Tony reacting to the green first with a 0.18, but passing all the way through to a 6.17 at 117 miles an hour. And for Tony's top, 907 at 86 miles an hour. Pacemaker Trans Am. Easy Martin, right, okay. Proves me wrong. Oh yeah. I think he's quite right. I think he's number 12 on our list of 5-second runners at 5:63 at 122 over the 8th mile, and Pete himself is perfect fastest with a 5:73 and also 122 miles an hour. It's a good list to have on that wall. This run. Nicely presented car, and the crawler as well over there in the mix. All looking very resplendent, and a huge post-up style hood scoop on the front, built in as much air as possible. It's a lot better straight, all the way through to a 5.89 with a 5 at 121 miles an hour.
Calm out in the right lane. Right, clutch. Calm out down in 6. Jack outside. 96.5 to 125. There. 4 to 122 for Charles. James come on. Got the shade on the floor. More Chris's. Okay, for the left-hand lane.
5 at 82. Hope with the higher boost of 1300 lining up in the right hand lane. R750. From the booster towards the bottom end of the racetrack, and it's the 7.13 to a 692, 110 miles an hour to 113. Higher booster is going to be smashed up against Bill Wood. Rocking away from the start. Really got that set up. Oh dear. 584 with a 3 at 137 miles an hour. Feet hanging off the green depth there. 655 with an 8 at 106 miles an hour. Really keeps the 335 block out of the way. Facing John Bushman. To a match between these two. We've already seen some good performance from Ian Wally's machine down there, that Mark II Cortina. Small block Ford V8. But kitted out with a massive turbo. And called him the Mad Professor. He won the National Streetcar Challenge on more than one occasion. I'm sure he'd like to try him again this year, being the 30th season of running this championship. So let's see how we get on. Can Simon Preston with the Highland hang on to the 50 is off and away, right down, centre through the racetrack, and runs a 6.59 with a 9 to 117 miles an hour. Ford Pops. That's the next pair of cars to entertain us. Battle of the Bird Boys. Shane Bird in the left-hand lane, and Aaron with his 327 cubic inch Ford Pop. 360 versus 327 between these two. It's going to be close. We hope it's going to be close. Shit, who's behind the beard? Let's see how they get on. Almost like the Bird Boys out of street angles, isn't it? Here we go. Going away from the green line with a .231 reaction time, but coming round him is Aaron Bird with that 7071 to a lose out 8.144 at 86 miles an hour, 101.50 mile per hour. 79 in that right lane. Back in the rain and probably for a gear as well. still giving that BM a good run for its money, but losing out just in the last part of the racetrack. And the camera on board not affecting his performance. 83 with a 6, 83 miles an hour to 10.217 and 75. Ian Armitage with the slingshot dragster. BMW all the way through, 245, but for the slingshot 597 at 125 miles an hour. Ben Washrood with the Ford Mustang, trying to get as much traction away from the start line as possible. Starting to attack those rear tyres. Well, grip juice going down. Small puddle under each tyre. Certainly nailed that with a 791 with a 3 at 88 miles an hour to a 1044 with a 7, 55 in the left lane. One for these. Get these stick nicely into the challenge. Throughout the season. Overstaging going on in that left lane. That could be Dave Glover down there in the right hand lane. First time out. Second to that one. And a 6.578 to the 112 in the left lane to 1171 and 62 miles an hour. 8:29 to the 1 and 58 in the right-hand lane, no time or speed in the left. Left big red cherry on each side of the tree. And next up, Audi versus BMW. RS6 up against the 335D. Dragracing. Nicely edging for the Audi. 7.31, 785. Looking for a dive. Left-hand lane. Taking through 7:34 with a 2 at 97 miles an hour. Nearly popped a red on the tree. Matters not in qualifying. Sarah Unsworth comes through once more with the Ford Mustang GT, taking on Howard Holmes. Howard with the car that he's owned for over 30 years. It covers a lot of highway miles. It's not one for being trailered anywhere. And for Sarah, running through 7:23 at 104 miles an hour to an 8:02 at 83 miles an hour. Flat, back round again with his Camaro. Tyler Smith with that Ford Mustang GT. Season unfolds, going to be one to watch out for. Reaction time of 0.12, but breaks out 7:67 on that 7:71. For Tyler, 7:40 at 96 miles an hour. I think it looks like it could be NSCC, which will be the National Streetcar Challenge. This will be the semi-final. Like Ian Wally is indeed on a bye run. Yep. So we'll get the chute armed, the mad professor at the wheel of the Mark II Cortina. Looking to see if he can improve the street weekend from last season. the RPM straight away through, 7.14 with a 1 at 115 miles an hour. So Ian White will his place in the final. So who's going to be? Or is it going to be Nick Gombe with a 5.8 litre Mustang? Who's he going to face in the final showdown of round 1 of the National Streetcar Challenge? Just waiting patiently in his lane, waiting for Aaron to back up. Both drivers cool and collected as much as they can be. Aaron's reacting to the green light quicker with a .216. Safely through to the next round in the final. 7.007 at 100.07 miles an hour. For Nick Gombe, a lose out 7.99 at 85.86 miles an hour. So it's going to be Aaron Byrne versus Ian Wally in the final. And that's going to be coming your way very shortly. Dragster down there, and he's taking up the golden Fabia, 1.5 litre of anyway, Ian runs through with a still long route round, 592 with a 0 at 137 miles an hour.